Alright, so here we have an adult tunicate, or also known as the C-squirt. We're going to be dissecting it for you here today. So to start, we're going to take our tissue forceps and a pair of small scissors and remove the tunic from the C-squirt. It's the covering, so you just cut a small hole in it, and you should be able just to pull it apart. The tunic is like a membrane-like tissue that covers basically the internal organs of the C-squirt. So to show you guys, we're going to need to remove that and able to visualize the organs underneath the tunic in the dissecting microscope. It's full of some juices and can be a little pesky. It's not coming out. Bear with us here. Alright, so now as you're starting to remove it, you can start to see some of the vital organs that are starting to appear. There you go. You should just scrape out. Yep, perfect. So now that we have two sections, there's our C-squirt there, and then the tunic is now dismembered from the actual C-squirt. So we got a good little visualization of the, move it back a little bit. Perfect. So now we got a good visualization of the stomach and the intestines. So in the stomach it kind of looks like what you might believe would be the intestines. It is more long in the C-squirt than you might find in the human. And then you can see that it runs down from the stomach into the intestine to the extosiphon, which would also be known as the anus. So here we are looking at the incurrent siphon, also known as, I guess, the C-squirt's mouth. We can distinguish this by seeing the pharyngeal slits. So what we did was turn on the underlight of the dissection microscope, which gives us a good view of the lines that are associated next to the incurrent siphon, which are also known as the pharyngeal slits, which house the pharynx. So what that does is that encourages gas exchange for the C-squirt and also allows it to breathe. Alright, so here we're looking at a lamprey, and it is in the embryonic stage of the larval stage. So we're showing this to be the predecessor of what we're going to show next, which will be our adult lamprey dissection, male and female. We're unsure of what this gender is, but so what we're looking at here is the slide. I apologize, it's so dark, it's hard to get the lighting good on a compound microscope, but this is the best we got. So right now we're looking at the head of the larval lamprey. If I can try to get in here a little bit. So what you can see is, if you see, it's hard to kind of point with my tool here, but if you can see the slits on the top of the camera here, those will be your pharyngeal slits. And right underneath the pharyngeal slits is the the endostyle, which is, it secretes mucus and catches particles before it enters the system, which is kind of like a human nose, if you will. So towards the head, you can see where it kind of branches off on the bottom side. That'll be the incurrent siphon, which would also be known as their mouth. They do have a notochord, which is the lighter kind of area running down their back. Right around here, if I can, right around here. And on top of that, they also have a dorsal hollow nerve cord. And if I scroll down a little bit, you can see that they also have a postanal tail, which aids in movement. And then there's the excurrent siphon, postanal, which means obviously behind the anus. Oh, losing it here. And so they do have eyes and a brain, which is a distinguishing characteristic from chordates to vertebrates. So chordates have 5 differential characteristics: the notochord, dorsal hollow nerve cord, a postanal tail, pharyngeal slits, and an endostyle. When you get into what we know as vertebrates, they usually have things more as a exoskeleton and more nervous, systems such as a brain and a cranium, things like that. So once again, this is the larval lamprey, which we're going to show just before our adult lamprey dissection.
Yeah, whenever now.
Alright, so we have a female lamprey. You can tell by, obviously, these are all eggs on both sides. It's quite an abundance of them. So to start, this here is the notochord. And then underneath the notochord, coming from the heart, you have your dorsal aorta. Oh, I'm sorry. The dorsal aorta is up here, right here. And then this is your intestine coming from your stomach. You have your heart, the ventricles are on the bottom, the atria are on top. You got gill slits here. The brain is just right here. We know that because in front of the brain is a sac called it's called the olfactory sac. The nostrils run up towards the top of the head. The green structure here is the liver.
You can also tell it's a girl just by all the eggs that are right here. Some of the eggs are blocking the kidney as well.
Yeah, it comes all the way back here.
Have the post-anal tail back there, obviously.
Some eggs have died on it. Alright, so here's a better look at the liver. And then the heart. You can tell there's a little section that divides the liver from the heart here. And that is called the transverse septum. And the aorta runs off the top of the heart here, all the way down towards the back. This here is a cartilage called lingual cartilage. And then there should be an aorta right here, running from the heart that goes to the front, and that is called the ventral aorta.
Right here is the notochord, and it runs all the way down the lamprey. And here's the notochord. Right here is actually the nerve cord. This is the liver. This is the olfactory sac, and the nostrils are right here.
Got the pharyngeal slits or the gill slits right here. We got the
Ventricle.
Get the ventricle, and then over here on this one we got the intestines.
And the intestine runs all the way down to the anus. You could see it better on this side. So this is where the anus is.
We got the post-anal tail at the end here.
We have the dorsal fins. Here's the mouth. And its teeth are right here. And the head, the cranium.